other piece where we can save students time and be the hero in this to prevent headaches is, as I'm sure Anne Marie would tell us from the wonderful world of psychology, there's only so much bandwidth. I mean, our brains, our lovely computers, you know, do all this stuff. There's always more processing power. There's always more bandwidth. But this little squidgy bit between the ears only has so much bandwidth. So wherever in our Canvas sites or just in our world, we can help students not have to do too much cognitive load is the technical term, but basically we're not making them have to think too much about the stuff to get to the stuff that we're asking them to do, because we want them to spend all their brain power on the tasks and demonstration of mastery that's going to show us that they know stuff. So having things that we can take out of the way, clutter, that's going to get in their way is a good thing. And one of those places and spaces that we can do that is by taking away anything we aren't going to use or we don't want them to get into in the actual course menu. Now, this is presuming that they're using our course menu. That's a whole nother discussion we'll come back to in a minute. But anything under settings in the navigation tab, anything you're not using in that list that's active, turn it off. As faculty members, be aware, you're always going to see everything, lucky us. Ours is a complicated world, but for the student view, and you can go to the student view at any point with the button in the right top right hand side of your courses there, you can go in and check that. When you go to settings, always going to dump you at course details. Good. But we're more interested for our purposes at the moment in this navigation tab. If I left click on that, navigation, everything that is up above this little drag items here to hide from students, that's going to correspond to things that don't have the hairy eyeball on them on this course menu on the left-hand side. That's saying students can see that. So if there's stuff there I'm just not going to use, or I don't want the students to see or have to deal with, hide it, just hide it. How do I do that? I can either drag and drop, let's say, I don't know, collaborations. I'll drag it below that drag items here to hide from students. Or if you're not a drag and dropper, I can left click the little 3 dots and I get a disable option. And that does the same thing. So I'm just going to go on a quick little spree, disable, drag and drop, so on and so forth. The one thing I would say is, just as a general rule, never send your students to files. Just don't have files available to students. It's a hot mess. As one of the full-time faculty is fond of saying, files is where you send students to die in Canvas, and they are not wrong. So after I make all my little changes, I'm going to go down to save to apply those. It's not an autosave thing. And then usually people want to know, well, what's it look like to students? Well, if I go to home, I've got my handy dandy student view option here. And then I can see, oh, that chat one and those other things aren't there anymore. So that helps solve that pretty good. So that's the story with navigation and the link validator in the wonderful world of settings. And one of the first places we can take extra noise and clutter out of our students' lives and save them headaches.